I find it very interesting that after 1,000 years of research and development on the design of a golf club and getting it to basically work by itself, this thing is truly a marvel of modern engineering, as well as ancient engineering, really, because I think they kind of happened upon the design by accident, and then we realized just how fantastic it was. And that's the interesting part. Golf club makers, golf club designers, golf club engineers, they know exactly how a golf club works, but they don't tell you. Why don't they tell you? Because frustrated golfers lose more golf balls and buy more golf clubs. And that's the way they like it. Now, the thing is, as far as golf club design goes, we are in the modern age. But as far as golf club instruction goes, I would say we're still in the dark ages or bronze age at best. Virtually all golf instruction is based upon what I call a de facto principle. Most instructors will use a professional or a good player to show the novice what a good swing looks like, and then expect the novice to glean the cause or intention out of that. And what's even funnier is they show good positions and then they advocate for the student to try to get into that position, but because they're missing the one fundamental factor and intention of the golf swing, none of those things are ever going to happen. So without the single most fundamental motion of the golf swing, which is the holy grail of golf, what direction do you swing? And a circle is not a direction. A direction is a single linear
direction. And the direction we swing is downward toward the ball, 90 degrees prior to the direction the ball went. And
once you understand this simple fact, so many things become incredibly easy to perform. Many of the things that you've been, let's say, chasing or trying to achieve for probably most of your golf career will suddenly happen naturally. The funny thing is, like swaying, we've got a million drills about how not to sway off the ball. Well, why do people sway? Because they think they need to swing that way, right? And so they sway because they're thinking that it would be like pushing a windmill forward just as it was to strike the ball. But if you think about it, I mean, what would you be gaining? A quarter of a mile per hour at best. It's silly. But the thing is, if we imagine, or actually once we know that we do not swing in this direction,
we swing in that direction, and that direction, of course, is important.
Out toward the ball, basically, which is why we face the ball. We're facing it. Well, once you realize you're swinging in that direction, there is no longer any desire or need to sway, because why would you ever go this way if your intent is to swing that way? You would go this way. You'd go back and away. And lo and behold, isn't that exactly what the pros do? Instead of going this way, they go this way. They go back and deep, away from the ball. Why is that?
Because we're swinging that direction.
So we would prepare by moving in this direction, directly away from the direction that we would be swinging. And the same is true. Now, once we need our brake force, which hopefully you guys have all seen the gas and the brake, but once we need our brake force, that brake force is going to be, well, it's going to be slightly in that direction, because now we're swinging in that direction. We have to stop ourselves basically from flying out this way. And we do that by the weight of our arms and the club pulling us through, and the brake force that's being applied by our front leg. And the front leg is pushing directly away from the general direction that we sent our force. And I mean, these are very simple physics properties that escape just about everybody. I'm going to say literally everybody. I mean, when I see an instructor, trying to tell somebody, oh, you need to get your weight more on your right. Well, needing to do it and having to do it are very different. So if I'm going to swing in this direction and I'm going to send my gas force laterally on the ground, well, I can't do that. If I'm here, I have to do it from being fairly balanced, but with weight on this foot. And I can push in that direction, which turns me that way. There would be no reason to sway out here. And the same is true once I want to apply my brake force. Well, if my weight is still over here, I can't apply any brake force if I don't have weight on that foot. So I have to get weight onto that foot. Now I can apply my brake force. And it's out of necessity, not out of desire or active intent. So virtually all golf instruction is futile and de facto, in that they are all basing their instruction on a false premise or no premise at all, as to what direction we swing the club. I mean, how silly is it that you can work with somebody who's learning to play golf and you cannot see that they're trying to do this, and it is so clear that they are intending to swing this golf club in that direction and that way forcefully, and that puts you in, it puts you in all sorts of ridiculous chicken wing. I mean, it's just silly. It's absolutely silly. You can't swing athletically that way. You can't do anything. I don't know. I'm very frustrated, let's say, with modern golf instruction, and watching YouTube. I have seen a lot of instructors doing their best to teach and advocate.
Everything that guy just says is bullshit. Thank you.
And I really don't think it does any of the average player any good, because they don't address the heart of the problem, the root of the problem, which is the holy grail of golf. What direction do you swing? If you don't know what direction you swing, golf is, as they say, hard. If you understand what direction you swing, the golf club just starts to work perfectly. And it's truly almost magical. I don't know how to say it any other way than that.